Greetings and hello to everyone who is here with me or who has joined later on. I am Corinna Lee, and this is my very first reading where I will provide information from the Ashtar Command. We call this Galactic Briefings. I haven't been told in advance how this is going to work, but I've had an idea that I'm just supposed to read the energy and I will be provided whatever is deemed important for everybody to be informed with. First thing I would like to share with you is information that I have extracted from a dream that I had this night, and it's a rather important briefing. These briefings are based on the foundation of having a little bit knowledge about Prison Planet. By the way, I should say that you can Google Prison Planet if you do not know what Prison Planet is already. And remember to be critical and make sure that whatever you're reading resonates with you. Don't just believe something that you read, even if it's put in a way that is very convincing. But this dream I had was about people being replaced by versions of themselves. And this is very well known, and especially internationally. I am broadcasting from Denmark, which is very narrow-minded as to the borderlines between spirituality and galactic consciousness. But internationally, we are operating with the idea of clones, that there are actually clones that are replacing people who are not behaving as they are supposed to behave. And this is, of course, not the galactic light forces that are doing this. This is the dark forces, or whatever you wish to call them. But this was different. What I saw is that a system deep within the energy layers of Prison Planet, where the dark has gotten hold of large numbers of human beings, actually. Large numbers of human beings that are sort of numbed in their consciousness. And because they are numbed, it's easier for the dark to get a hold on placing sort of tubes, energy extraction tubes in their energy systems, much like the ones that we perhaps you have seen the Matrix, the movies. It's sort of a tube that's placed here in the back of the head, which is a normal place also in real world, in real galactic world, at least for to have some kind of implant being put. So the less conscious you is in certain ways, the more likely you are to have been contaminated with these tubes that sort of extract your energy from you. And this is not you, because if it was you, you wouldn't be listening to this. You wouldn't have this in your algorithm. You would have closed this video with me already after a few seconds. So this isn't you, but this is some people. So, but these tubes, they extract the energy from the being, the soul, or other kinds of beings that may be in a human body. And when the energy is extracted, the whatever is left is discarded. And then they take a new being and put it into the human body. So humans are actually used to extract energy, and the souls that are replacing each other are trapped in prison colonies. And this is kind of a provides a solution to a lot of questions that I have had. Why are they having these prison colonies It can't just be prisoners of war or vengeance. They are actually used to to extract energy from. Now, to begin with, I saw the discarded souls in sort of, I thought it was graves, but really they are put into this fluid where they regenerate their energy, and they're not taken care of. It's really, really painful to be in these I put the quote marks, regeneration chambers, because some of them are fully conscious, but the more times you are being reused, the less you remember of who you are, until the soul itself, you yourself, as a high level conscious being, you become more and more primal. So this was the first briefing that was provided for me to share with you. But what can we do about it? Well, there's not much to do about it for now. But it's as a human being, it may be hard to do anything. But when you, with your human consciousness, listen to these things, and if they resonate with you, higher aspects of who you are will start doing whatever needs to be done in order to further the liberation process of all of those prisoners here on Earth. So this was the first briefing. The most important one, I think. Yeah. And I see that when we are gathered here like this, that we are receiving support from the Ashtar Command. Those of you who are not working with the Ashtar Command by yourself, you have the opportunity, or higher aspects of yourself are provided the opportunity to collaborate with the Ashtar Command. If you have a feeling that you play a part in the liberation process and the breaking down of this system, of this cruel, torturous system. So that is what the briefing was for. It was for whomever of you and everybody else, and who listens, who are not human beings, who don't even need the video, to gain the knowledge, so that we can collaborate on breaking down this system. This will play an important part in opposing the dark factions that have grabbed quite a lot of control on a lot of things here on Earth. If we can make a difference and sabotage these systems, so they will be cut from their supply of energies from these poor human beings. So yes, and I see that. I'm being told that everything is almost in place. Perhaps some of you have a feeling that you are doing some light work right now, and maybe you see things, you are provided images, or you hear things, or you just know whatever it is you're doing. If you do not see or hear or feel anything, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to anyway. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing, even if we're doing it when it's in the other dimensions. Thank you. The Ashtar Command says thank you for your participation and for your support. Yeah. Right. There are some standard briefings that I have a feeling they will be part of the briefing every time, and one of the most, I would say, annoying, but severe yet low-key pressures on the prison planet, on the humankind, is captivity in prison planet are the gray aliens. Now, I don't want to be a racist. But I have yet to meet larger group or a group of gray aliens whom I have been able to trust. Perhaps they are out there, but even if there are good guy gray aliens, there are also a lot of bad guy gray aliens who have satellites and who have vehicles and who have a really powerful telepathic ability to impose their will on human beings. They are masters of mind control. Sometimes they are really present in the ether, and other times they are not so present. They are sort of they are used as mercenaries a lot. But really they are working for their own cause. So if they have been hired by some overlord who starts to treat them in a way so they lose their advantage, they have no loyalty. Naturally, they have no loyalty. So they are really working for themselves. Even they are primarily working for the bad guys, as far as I've seen it. And if any of you have seen something different, that's not untrue, of course. The Greys are not very present today, and there are no sightings that they will be much more present until the end of the week, where there will be a risk of being caught in energy waves with the mind control. Now this is a really huge topic, but mind control may feel like can affect you in your dreams, but especially I have seen that the past week that I call them plasma guys in Enoch's the book of Enoch, it's called. I think that they call them lesser space gods, something like that. But they are working through human channels, mediums. And I have noticed that some of the people who are channeling, most of them without knowing it, those plasma guys, they have had a stronger presence as to false white light. False white light. And false white light is an energy that is synthetic, that is really good at making people feel good, and it awakens your trust with those mediums or with other people, but it's synthetic. And I see that they have a collaboration with the Greys, where the Greys sort of grooms the human mind, sort of paralyzes us. They try to paralyze us so we are more prone to be affected by the false white light. So if you feel strangely, find yourself strangely trustful in situations where you think I should be more skeptical right now, then perhaps it's the Greys. So just be cautious. It's gonna be fine. There are also briefings from the positive Anunnaki, who have been fighting alongside the Galactic Alliances for a long time. For eons, they have been allied with the Alliances in secrecy, because they did not want to start a civil war with the negative Anunnaki, who have been really present here on Earth. And also, when there are a lot of people, a lot of archaeologists and a lot of mystic about the Anunnaki's presence here on Earth, and there have been both positive and negative Anunnaki here on Earth, is what I am being briefed. And the positive Anunnaki were here actually to help the human beings. The negative Anunnaki were here to like sort of joyriders, and they left because the positive Anunnaki threatened the negative Anunnaki to destroy them if they did not leave. But well, they are still here, sort of. But the negative Anunnaki have teamed up with the dark factions and have been doing so not in secrecy, but the positive Anunnaki are part of the Galactic peace forces and Galactic forces overall, whom are on the verge of cracking the code as how to enter the spheres, the realms of man, and perhaps you feel their presence or see them alongside elven warriors and Pleiadians and Arcturians and whomever you might have it easy to catch with your eye. They are also here, the positive Anunnaki, and they are briefing that that they have succeeded to subdue some sabotage that the negative Anunnaki have been doing, which have been convincing people that they are better than others, and that the others just have to basically die because they are not worthy. So those are some of the traditional common negative Anunnaki beliefs that have been imposed upon the human race lots and lots of times. The idea of supremacy that has caused nations to subdue and eliminate one another. But the positive Anunnaki, they are here and they tell us that they have gotten a hold of the situation, and that they think that they will be able to control their negative brethren and sisters within the next couple of months. Yeah. We should also be aware of the black aliens. Black aliens who, well, they kind of look like, when I see them, they kind of look like the aliens from the films Alien, where the graphics are provided by Geiger. But they're not as slimy, and they're not as intricate in their physiology. Black aliens are really intelligent, and they do not work as mercenaries in the same fashion as the Greys do. They do collaborate, and they are hireable as mercenaries, but they are a combination between warriors and highly intelligent diplomats. So it's a good thing to be aware, to be careful with them. I would strongly advise against being close to them or interaction or interact with them, because they are really destructive. At least that's my experience. The black alien, probably they have a name. I just call them by the color in which I see them. But the black aliens are collaborating with the Greys, and they are targeting light workers at the moment. They are targeting, singling out light workers with specialized attacks that are meant to put us out of the game for as long as possible. And they attack through physiology, so we can become ill because they're using rays to lower our physiological resistance. They may be collaborating with the shapeshifters who can enter the mind of human beings and put into our minds thoughts that are not ours, images that are not ours, so that we may be manipulated to the an extent of being really emotionally unstable, so that we can't do much else than just keeping ourselves together. And sometimes they also target our surroundings. So that's what I see, and we can do something about that actually. Every morning when we get up, just breathe and focus yourself, align yourself. And if you during the day, if you get a feeling that, or if you get strong feelings that sort of rip you out of your balance, see if you can just see them as an attack. Okay, I was forced to, I was manipulated to focus really hard on this negative feeling. I don't want to do that, and just go back to being focused. And also, before you go to sleep, do a clearing, mental clearing and energy clearing, or use sage or the Palo Santo or whatever you use, so that your energy system and your consciousness has as much resistance as possible, because they are targeting us these days, and they almost always are. But sometimes the Galactic Alliances actually manage to throw them out of the sphere of the Earth. This often has a lot to do with how the planets are aligned, etc., what is possible and what is not. So, but in these days, they are here. Their presence is not really strong, but they are here. There is a fleet. This is the last part of the briefing. Sometimes fleets of galactic vehicles gather different places, and sometimes fleets of dark faction vehicles gather. And right now there is a secret fleet. And how can I speak about this if it's a secret fleet? I can do this because the only way to go there is through your own consciousness. So you can't go there, you can't astral project to this fleet, but you can close your eyes and meditate your way to it. So you can do that now if you wish to. Just close your eyes, or you can have your eyes open, and imagine that you go to this alliance fleet, which is hidden in the layers between layers. And then you're there, and you can do whatever is needed of you to do there. And these portals that we carry are so encrypted that even if we were caught, we wouldn't be able to allow anyone but ourselves to enter the portal. So this is really safe. It's only for a limited period of time that we have this possibility. This has something to do with the alignment of the planets and the stars. But until the Lion's Gate, the climax is August 8th. There will be a number, an amount of these portals leading us, light workers, to different spots, different rendezvous spots in the layers between layers. So, and you can always do this. You don't have to know where you're going. You can just focus on yourself and visualize sort of the fleet of Galactic Alliance vehicles, and you will be there. So this was the briefing, a little new, from the Prison Planet Liberation Movement, a little bit about the Greys, a little bit about the Blacks, and a little new from tips and tricks from the Ashtar Command as to the fleets of Alliance vehicles. And this was the Galactic briefing from me. I hope that you have found it useful, and I will be seeing you perhaps next week. Thank you for now, and thank you for your time. Bye.